Alright guys, Wes here, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to talk about the upcoming game Unicorn Overlord. A big thank you to Atlas for sponsoring today's video. They actually wanted me to showcase this game on the channel, so a huge thank you to them. I've got a link in the description for you guys to check the game out. It releases on March 8th, but there is a demo available right now, so if you're a fan of SRPGs and you vibe with this game, definitely click that link in the description. Liberate your kingdom and reclaim your destiny from the masterminds that brought 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, Odin Sphere, and Dragon's Crown. Atlas X Vanillaware presents the rebirth of a tactical fantasy RPG. Fight against fate and embark on a royal adventure to regain your reign alongside trustworthy allies. Unicorn Overlord combines the timeless tactical RPG genre with overworld exploration and innovative battle system for a unique epic fantasy experience in the iconic Vanillaware style. Traverse a vibrant world, assemble units, and direct them into exquisitely animated battles. Perform heroic deeds and grow renown throughout the 5 nations. Cultivate a grand army with over 60 unique characters, from humans and elves to massive beasts and heavenly angels. Unicorn Overlord is the rebirth of retro fantasy strategy that embarks audiences on a nostalgia-infused epic SRPG adventure, inviting you to forge alliances, liberate kingdoms, and explore an expansive world with stunning visuals. Unlike 13 Sentinels, the focus of this game lies in strategy and tactics. Rather than emphasizing the narrative, it is a classic heroic fantasy tale that pays homage to classic 16 and 32-bit strategy RPG gameplay with gorgeous modern 2D aesthetics for tactic fans that want to test their real-time strategy skills. With 40 to 50 hours of gameplay, Unicorn Overlord is available on the Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and PS4 digital only. Now, what's great about Unicorn Overlord is there is a demo that is available right now, so if you'd like to check it out, play it before you decide to buy. And the beauty of the demo is the progress actually carries over to the full release. Now, one of the highlights for Unicorn Overlord is actually the overworld exploration. This game features unique immersion and freedom of play for an SRPG with an expansive world to be explored. You can gather new allies, forge bonds, gather materials, reclaim or rebuild towns, train allies, go on quests, and so on and so forth. Unicorn Overlord has a large variety of items and weapons to be collected and customized, so if you're a fan of just going around and collecting weapons and just kind of modifying them, or rather customizing them, then Unicorn Overlord has a lot of that. But one of my favorite highlights is actually the pacing of the game. It really gives you enough time to really think about your next plan and your next move, so having that time to strategize is pretty clutch. Well, now that you have an overview of the game, let's go ahead and get into some of the nitty-gritty details regarding Unicorn Overlord. But first, I'd like to give you guys some basic starting tips. The first thing that I would say is to be mindful of the game's difficulty. Unicorn Overlord is equipped with many unique game systems, and I recommend starting with the story difficulty, and that's not only for those playing tactical RPGs for the first time, but also those with TRPG experience. What's good is you could change the difficulty settings at any time, so if you want more of a challenge after you get used to the game systems, then I would recommend try increasing the difficulty, and then once you've played a bit, then go from there. Now, before starting battle stages, I would say complete tasks in the overworld, such as recruiting characters, purchasing equipment, and acquiring items by rebuilding towns. If you start a stage without proper preparation, it'll be a waste of the resources you spent time collecting, so having that advanced setup is definitely key with this game. So before jumping in head first, I would suggest just control your excitement and just spend as much time making preparations in different towns and forts before beginning each stage. My next suggestion is to make Elaine the leader of a unit. When Elaine, the story's main character, is selected as the leader, you'll basically get this morale boost effect that increases the amount of valor you earn through the battle actions, and the valor can be used to deploy units and activate powerful valor skills. So I would say set Elaine as your leader to maximize your valor. Next up, you want to check out your skills of your new allies. Since newly recruited allies are often your first experience with a new class, it's best that you carefully check the skills that the character has in order to better understand and utilize them. Among them, the activation conditions of passive skills and the effects of skills are particularly important as they affect the compatibility between allies. For example, Bernice's passive skill, Following Slash, is a skill that launches a counterattack every time an ally is attacked. However, the skill does not have a 100% guaranteed hit rate, so I would recommend equipping accessories that boost Bernice's hit rate, and by teaming up with Hodrick, who has a high defense, you can safely repeat counterattacks while minimizing damage taken. Next up, and this one is a big one, and that is to take advantage of equipment that provides additional skills. There is a ton of equipment that add to your available battle skills just by equipping them. Some skills are enhanced when specific conditions are met, so the trick is to pair them with characters that easily meet these conditions. For example, the staff weapon Chloroctic has a passive skill, Fireburst, that hits all enemies if the target is burning. Try setting condition 1 of the Fireburst skill to target is burning. When Aush equips it and is paired with the Rolf of the class Hunter equipped with the flame bow, the effect is more likely to be activated. Now, if the burning enemy dies before the fire burst skill has a chance to activate, then you will miss out on the effect. But if you succeed, then that effect can be game changing. Moving on to the battle stages. Now, as you advance your troops, it's best to study the outcome predictions against enemy forces. By hovering over an enemy unit to move your unit to, you can preview the predicted outcome of the battle. If the outcome looks unfavorable, try marching to another direction or returning to your base to change your formation. I would also say that it's recommended that you march with multiple allied units together closely, as this will make it easier to switch to more advantageous units when you come directly in contact with the enemy. The next thing to watch out for is incoming ranged and magic attacks from enemies garrisoned at watchtowers and bridges are pretty deadly, so just be mindful. Now, one handy tactic to use against enemy units with assist skills would be to draw them out using Lex's Valor skill Provoke, or send in flying units to take the enemies out first. Now, one of my last recommendations is to save scum. There's nothing wrong with saving. You can save at any time from the stage menu before fighting a tough enemy or when you're unsure of which unit to deploy. Save your game and then try out various strategies. There's nothing wrong with that. They call it save scumming, even though I use it in every game that I play, whether it's an RPG, a TRPG, an SRPG, literally every game. It is such a clutch thing to do. So yeah, again, do not hesitate to save. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about the various classes, at least that we know so far. So first and foremost, we have the Lord. There's the Fighter, which is awesome at stopping arrows. We have the Soldier, the Housecarl, the Sellsword, the Hoplite, Gladiator, Warrior, Hunter, Thief, Knight, Radiant Knight, Cleric, Wizard, Witch, Shaman, Griffin, Knight, and Feathersword. And then we have the Paladins and Priestess. Now, all of the classes belong to a type which can be identified by an icon next to their name. All of the classes have particular weaknesses, so be mindful of that whenever you form your team. The various class types are Infantry, and that is the icon, the boot. We've got the Cavalry, which obviously is a horse, the Flying type, which is a wing, the Armor, which is a chest plate, and then the Scout, which is a cloak. Now, whenever you create your formations, your best bet is to organize a specialized team. Preparing units in advance to exploit the weaknesses of enemy units will give you an advantage in battle. And whenever you form units, be sure to include the natural counter class types that can exploit the weaknesses of the enemy's front row classes, which in general, a wise strategy is to populate the front row with characters who can withstand enemy attacks while keeping the back row filled with specialized characters that can target enemy weaknesses. Skills have physical potency and magical potency stats. These indicate whether the enemy will incur either a physical or magical damage. Some skills include both types, such as the Elven Fencer skill, Lightning Blade. In this case, you can effectively deal damage to both the Hoplite, which is strong against physical and vulnerable to magic, and Shaman, which is strong against magic and vulnerable against physical. So it really is all about min-maxing. Now for some advanced tactics to be mindful of, and that is a unit's class composition is important. Performance in battle will greatly vary depending on how well the tactics are set up. Definitely make use of your active skills as well. Active skills provide a variety of powerful attacks, with many being highly effective against specific enemy classes. Setting proper conditions in the tactics menu will allow you to take full advantage of these strengths and achieve great results. Next up, you want to specify which target to protect with passive skills as well. There are many passive support skills, such as those that heal and protect your allies. However, if you support the wrong target, you'll be wasting your efforts. So you definitely want to make sure you're preparing to set up proper tactics ahead of time in order to use them efficiently. Passive skills can also directly damage enemies, so not only do passive skills support allies, but certain ones will also allow you to launch attacks on enemies when the right conditions are met. So the best use case is to use these when you don't have enough attacks with active skills alone. The last thing that I want to highlight is the overall visuals and style of this game. Unicorn Overlord has beautiful cutscenes, battle scenes, and visuals with dynamic and stylized gameplay. It's got that unique but nostalgic look and feel to it. And the music, like, guys, can we talk about the music? The team has really outdone themselves. If you guys are looking forward to trying out Unicorn Overlord, you could play the demo that's available right now. You could also purchase the game and play it on March 8th. It's available on the Nintendo Switch, the Xbox Series X and S, the PS5, and the PS4, and your demo progress carries over to the full release. And a huge thank you to Unicorn Overlord for sponsoring today's video. I really do appreciate it. Well, guys, that's gonna wrap it up with this video. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, this has been Wes, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.